Okay, welcome all the people who is going to watch this web conference. Welcome to Juan Mendoza for being here. Thank you so much. And we start our last web conference, number 4. Here we are in English that words 5. Let's go to contenido del curso. Proyecto. Activity 4. Materials and support materials. And we have the main material is called Our World by 2050. And the subjects we have for today are second conditional, past simple, would, infinitive. That's the form. This is the way we form second conditional. The if clause with past simple and the other clause with would. There is also some vocabulary related to animals, extinction, and endangered species. And the second part of the grammar, let's say grammar part, is about making decisions. And for that, we can use zero, first, and second conditional. So it is a type, it's a kind of review because we already saw studied zero and first conditional last class in the third web conference. So let's begin. Here we have an example. Nicole is participating as subject in a research about human behavior. Read the following interview with the researcher that is conducting the test. Hi, Nicole. How do you do? Oh, I'm okay. Thank you for the invitation. Nicole, today I want to ask you some personal questions. Okay, let's start. Nicole, if you could live in another time period, what time period would you choose and why? So here we have the first example. If you could live, that is a hypothesis. So we use second conditional, is a hypothetical condition. Conditional. We use it for hypothesis. This is a hypothesis. If you could live in another time period. Si pudieras vivir en otro periodo de tiempo. And the second part, this is the if part. And the if part is used in past simple. Could live. What time period will you choose and why? And the second part, the second clause, the main clause, would be with would. Would you choose and why? I would choose either the 30s, the 1930s for the elegance of the outfits, or the 1970s for the hippie clothes and awesome music. Is kind of contradictory, her answer, ¿cierto? Un poco como contradictoria. In this case, in the theories, she chose the elegance. And in the second case, the 70s, and is, of course, the opposite, the hippie clothes and the music. So as we saw above, the second conditional, we have the if clause, which is in past simple, comma, and the main clause, which is with would plus verb plus infinitive. Entonces tenemos las dos partes para formar el condicional. La primera la usamos en pasado simple y la segunda, digamos que la principal, va con would e infinitivo. En español, esos tiempos son el subjuntivo, ¿cierto? Sino que en inglés el subjuntivo lo expresamos en pasado simple, y el condicional, el que llamamos condicional. Entonces, si pudieras, ¿cierto? Este pudieras es subjuntivo. Entonces, y el would es condicional porque yo, en este caso, yo me gustaría, ¿cierto? Escogería los 30, los 70. Entonces, esa terminación es condicional. Here we have another example. Now, if you could come back in another life, who or what would you be like to be? Acá le metí algo, ¿cierto? I didn't read. Sorry, entonces dice, so, if you could come back in another time, who or what would you like to be? I would like to be a bird so I could watch people. That's an awkward answer. Okay, if you could come back, ¿cierto? Acá estamos utilizando si pudieras regresar en otra vida, ¿cuál sería? Entonces, si pudiera regresar, pudiera regresar, ya dijimos subjuntivo. ¿Quién o qué sería? ¿Qué le gustaría ser? Acá estamos utilizando el tiempo que llamamos en español condicional. I would like to be a bird. Nicole, if you could change one part of your body, what would it be? It could be, if I could change one part of my body, I wouldn't change anything. I love my entire body. ¿Listo? Entonces vea que súper sencillo. Could change, would it be, could change, wouldn't change. Esa es la estructura del second conditional. What about this one, Nicole? What will you wear if you were invited on a date by someone you really like? Well, I'll choose some super comfortable clothes, definitely a black dress. Y si seguimos, hay muchas otras oraciones que nos muestran. Here are more examples from the contextualization above. Here we have the structure to form the second conditional. If, but simple, would, wouldn't, infinitive. Okay, here we have the negative form. If I had my last meal, I will have an Italian dish with my family. ¿Cierto? Es como decir, si, acá dice, si tuviera mi última comida, o si lo que realmente está diciendo, la traducción, digamos, más acertada es, si este fuera mi último plato, escogería, tendría, comería un plato italiano con mi familia. If I could change one part of my body, I wouldn't change anything. Vamos a mirar, let's compare the following sentences. We have here, first one, she doesn't have much money, so she can buy an apartment. acá tenemos una condición, ¿cierto? She doesn't have much money, so she can buy an apartment. Entonces vamos a poner, vamos a traducir esto en el segundo condicional. We're going to change these two sentences and put it into a second conditional sentence. If she had the money, si ella tuviera dinero, if she had the money, she would buy an apartment. So far is okay. Juan, ¿está bien? ¿Está bien? ¿Se entiende? Do you understand?
Yes, teacher, is clear.
Okay. So let's continue. Here the explanation, sentence 1, she doesn't have much money, so she can buy an apartment. It is a real situation. She can afford it. While the sentence 2, if she had the money, she would buy an apartment, is a hypothetical or imaginary situation. She doesn't have the money, but she would like to buy it if she had the money. I will pass the course if he will pass the course if he studied more. It's the same, but here we have the if in the second part. So that's a tricky situation. So remember that the past simple goes with the if clause and the would with the main clause. That's why we have here first the would and then the past simple. They will travel abroad if they spoke English. Remember that the second conditional starts with would, wouldn't, infinitive, plus if past simple. We don't use the comma. Sí, esto lo sabemos, ¿cierto? La primera parte, si voy a poner if clause, coma, main clause. Si coloco acá main clause, if, pues no va la coma, eso ya lo sabemos, ¿cierto? I would go to the center if I had the time. If she didn't need the money, she wouldn't work on Sundays. And here we have the examples, some more examples written in the correct way and the incorrect way. Okay. Remember, note. Remember that in addition to would, you can also use the modal could for the second conditional. As we saw in the first example, remember? We use this as a general rule, but it can also be the could. Remember the first one. Here we have some more. If I won the lottery, I could buy a new car. Y la diferencia, ¿cierto? Se ve, o sea, si me gano la lotería, podría comprarme un carro, pero no estoy diciendo me compraría el carro, ¿cierto? Podría hacerlo y con would sería me lo compraría, o sea, es real, o sea, pasa a ser real si se cumple esta condición. He could visit his grandpa if he had the time. With he or she or it or I, you can use were instead of was when using the verb to be. For example, if she was, ¿cierto? Cuando yo digo, tienen razón, ¿cierto? Acá dice que se puede usar como los dos. Realmente el que se usa es were. Bueno, no dice que se puedan usar los dos, dice que se puede usar este en lugar de este. Pero hay algunos textos que usan este, pero realmente en el segundo condicional, aunque la conjugación aceptada es she was, I was, he was, it was, lo utilizamos con were. If she were you, she would choose the gray dress. If I were you, I would choose the gray dress. If I were you, I would walk. ¿cierto? Acá vuelve y dice, use were, not was, for giving advice. Porque cuando estamos utilizando este, si yo fuera tú, ¿cierto? Yo en el lugar tuyo, eso es un consejo. Ok. Here in the second part, we have some vocabulary. Please look at it for its animals, jungle animals, savanna animals, swamp animals. These are Antarctic animals, endangered species. And here we have another contextualization about endangered species, but we're not going to look at that. That's your task. And at the end, we have a review of the zero, first, and second conditional. Here we have some species that are facing threats. The blue whale, beautiful. And so healing also. Making decisions, zero, first, and second conditional review. Zero conditional. We use zero conditional, remember. Do you remember, Juan, how we form the zero conditional? And I had the information. ¿Sí? Juan, ¿recuerda cómo se forma? Sencillo.
The first conditional?
Zero and first.
Yes, teacher.
Could you tell me, please? ¿Se acuerda?
Sí, me acuerdo de la estructura.
Can you tell me?
Yes. We start with if.
If.
Pronoun.
Yes, but I don't want the structure of the whole sentence, but the structure we use to form the zero conditional.
In the first sentence, we have a condition.
Okay, the if clause goes
In base form.
in what? Sorry?
The first sentence is about the condition.
Yeah, the if clause, but what's the tense of that clause? Well, okay, I will help you. So remember that zero conditional is present.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Present. Okay. And the first conditional is present and will.
And future.
And future.
Present and future will.
Present, future.
Good. That was the question. Remember also that the zero conditional, we use it for real facts, for things that are real. General truths. And we use the first conditional to talk about possibilities in the future. The condition is present is something that can be real, and according to that, it can be also real in the future. So that's the first conditional. So here we have a review. Note, we use zero conditional when we know that the result of the condition is always true. It is a fact. If he is late for work, her boss gets angry. People die if they don't eat. To form the zero conditional, we use present simple, present simple. Babies cry if they are hungry. If he dies, it melts. Remember that when the second condition starts with present simple plus if present simple, we don't use the comma. The same recommendation we had before. You get green if you mix blue and yellow. If it rains, he gets wet. First conditional. We use first conditional to talk about a possible future situation and its consequence. They will stay at home if it snows today. If they don't study, they will fail the exam. To make the first conditional, we use if, present simple, will. Acá dice present simple, pero realmente es will. Y el verbo en infinitivo, plus. ¿Cierto? Acá esto es un error, una imprecisión. If she calls me, I will tell her the good news. Porque se podría decir, sí, después de will va el verbo como en su forma presente, pero no es cierto porque yo no digo acá, if she calls me, she will tell, no. Entonces, por eso es una imprecisión. Acá realmente lo que va es el verbo en infinitivo después de will. O sea, futuro con will. If she calls me, I will tell her the good news. We will invite Sarah if we see her tomorrow. Remember that when the second conditional starts with the present simple plus if plus verb in infinitive, we don't use the comma. And here we have what we saw, the second condition, hypothetical, imaginary situation. If you could come back in another life, who or what would you like to be? The same examples we had before. And we have some exercises here. But before going to the exercises, I want to go to the evidence, the pieces of evidence we have for this last part of the course. We have the Cross River gorilla, and will you change if your loved ones asked you to? Interactive activity, what if? The forum, if I were a man, if I were a woman, and the program evaluation survey. Those are the final activities of the course. So let's open the piece of evidence called the Cross River gorilla. Remember, here we have the link where you find the piece of evidence, the document. You have to to work on, and here the link through the one you have to send the piece of evidence. Here we have the interactive activity. We also have the link to access the forum, but here the instructions and the last exercise, which is the program evaluation survey, is going to be available the last 2 days of the course, the 22nd and 23rd. Cierto, esta evaluación, pero realmente no es una evaluación del programa, no es, acá dice evaluación del programa, es una encuesta evaluativa del programa de formación. No es académica, no es sobre los contenidos, sino es más de lo administrativo, del acompañamiento, del contenido, ¿sí? Más como lo curricular, como del programa en general, pero no de los contenidos. Entonces, para que no se preocupen. Por eso está disponible solamente esos últimos 2 días. Acá el foro. Recuerden que el foro podemos acceder al foro también directamente desde foros. Esto. Entonces, en esta actividad tenemos a reading. Read the following information about the Cross River Gorilla. And now you have to, for completing this evidence, you need to carry out a little research on the web to find out the major threats for the Cross River Gorilla. ¿Cierto? Tienen que buscar en internet como cuáles son las mayores amenazas que está viviendo pues esta especie. With the information obtained, write a short paragraph describing why this species is facing extinction and the consequence of its hypothetical extinction. Make sure you use conditionals in your test. Entonces, después de hacer esa pequeña búsqueda, yo voy a escribir lo que encuentro y señalar como cuáles son las amenazas, pero no es copiar y pegar, sino reescribir la información de alguna forma como lo teníamos en el ejemplo del segundo condicional. ¿Sí? Yo encuentro una información y la información que yo encuentro es, ok, no hay suficiente espacio, como en este caso, ¿cierto? She doesn't have much money. So she can buy an apartment. Yo tengo que reconstruir esa información que encuentro by means of the second conditional. ¿Sí? Entonces, utilizando esa información que encuentro, voy a construir un pequeño párrafo mostrando como las amenazas utilizando el segundo condicional. Eso es importante. Y es un error que cometen porque pues, muchos copian y pegan. También pasa eso, ¿no? Now, to complete the evidence, you need to record a tape in which you describe the actions you will execute to prevent the Cross River gorilla's extinction. Use your imagination to picture several scenarios in which you could help. Pueden colocar, puede ser un video, ¿sí? Y me ponen pues un link, el link del video, por ejemplo, si lo suben a YouTube. O podrían colocar el texto, y usar Buckaroo. Podría ser pues también porque pues hay muchos que No hay lío, no hay lío, ¿cierto? Puede ser el audio o puede ser un video. Interesante si es el video, a mí me gusta cuando lo envían. Esta es la primera parte, ¿cierto? The second part we have, will you shame if your loved ones ask you to? During the contextualization of the learning activity, Richard and Caroline made a presentation about the future of food. By the end of the presentation, Richard asked this question: will you change your current behaviors if your grandchildren ask you to? For this evidence, you need to first read a letter written by a child who lives in the future, and then write a response to him. Let's begin. Entonces yo voy a leer esta carta que escribe Cameron, ¿cierto? Es un chico que vive en el futuro y él le habla pues a las personas en el pasado, a nosotros. Entonces, a las personas que vivimos pues en el nuevo milenio y él vive en el 2050. Incluso yo creo que acá en el material ustedes van a encontrar información relacionada. De los problemas para que se puedan ayudar con la actividad, con las dos. Entonces, leen la carta y le van a responder. Now that you have read Cameron's letter, write a response to him. Be as creative as possible, and remember, you need to include some conditional phrases to talk about any hypothetical situations that may be relevant. Uno de los estudiantes, una de las estudiantes, una chica, hizo un trabajo interesante, pues se lo califiqué en este curso, por eso lo menciono, porque puso oraciones en cero, primero y segundo condicional. Entonces fue chévere. Entonces lo que vamos a hacer es leer la carta y ponernos en esta situación respondiéndole a él. Él nos está incitando como a que hagamos unos cambios. Por eso se llama la actividad Will You Change? ¿Cierto? Cambiarías si te, por ejemplo, en este caso, tus nietos te lo piden. O sea, el mundo necesita realmente un cambio, pero lo estás haciendo, lo estás llevando a cabo. Entonces, bueno, es responderle esta carta a este chico y ponernos en la situación hipotética en la que sí. ¿Cuáles son los cambios que yo puedo efectuar en el presente para que este futuro hipotético cambie? Bueno, que no es tan hipotético, lo sabemos ya. Esta es la evidencia que van a hacer. En el foro, for this evidence, you have to participate in the forum called If I Were a Man, If I Were a Woman, in which you have to, if you are a woman, describe the things you will do differently if you were a man, or if you are a man, describe the things you will do differently if you were a woman. ¿Cierto? Si eres hombre, ¿qué harías diferente como siendo mujer? Si fueras mujer. Y si eres una mujer, ¿qué harías diferente si fueras un hombre? For this forum, you have to make a list of the things you will change if you were a man or a woman. If you prefer, you can also use the words girl or boy. This is an example. There are a few things I will do differently. ¿Cierto? Acá yo ya estoy introduciendo el segundo condicional. If I were a boy. For example, If I were a boy, I would appreciate girls' ability to express their emotions. Also, if I were a boy, I will remember to put the toilet seat down. Finally, and I think this is the most important one, if I were a boy, I will never use the phrase like a girl, for example, you play soccer like a girl as an insult. Entonces lo que vamos a hacer es participar en el foro, vamos al foro. A veces pasa mucho que las respuestas son como muy candentes, ¿cierto? Le dan acá clic en activar texto enriquecido y responder. Ahí ponen lo que ustedes respondan. Entonces pasa que se vuelve como en una discusión de género. Bueno, ese no es el propósito. El propósito es como practicar el segundo condicional y de pronto reflexionar. Sería interesante pues como la reflexión, no desde eh, lo pasional, ¿cierto? Sino más como desde la razón. Bueno, esas son las dos actividades que tenemos. Vamos a mirar acá en el material. ¿Tenemos algún tiempo? Quedan algunos minutos para revisar algunos ejercicios. Por acá. Hay algunos de comprensión, comprehension. I would like some exercises on conditionals. This one is simple, you know. Match the conditional result to make a conditional sentence. Practice 2. I didn't prepare additional exercises, so I thought maybe here we will find some practical exercises. Okay. Okay, here we have a perfect English grammar, a website with some exercises. So here we have a condition for doing the second conditional. In this case, we have Juan, please. Would you like to participate? We have
Yes, of course.
in the first one, we have the if clause, and we need to use the be. And then in the second part, we have the verb get. So go ahead.
Okay. If I were you,
Good.
I would get a new job.
If I were you, I would get a new job.
Yes.
Number 2. Ay, what happened here? Ay, ¿quién escribió esto? Okay. Here the verbs are be and travel.
Okay. If he were young, he would travel more.
If he were younger,
Younger.
Number
He
three,
would.
he will travel
Uh,
more. Very good. Number three.
if we were not friends, I would be angry with you.
If we weren't friends, I would be angry at you. Or angry with you también se puede.
Angry with you.
Number four.
If I had enough money, I could buy a big.
I would
I, I would
buy
buy a big.
a big house.
I'm sorry, a big house.
Okay, good. Number five.
Yes. Okay. If she, if she, if she weren't always so late, she would be promoted.
Good. Number six.
Uh, if we won the lottery, we would travel the world.
Very good. Number seven.
If you had a better job, we would be able to buy a new car.
Excellent. Eight.
If I spoke perfect English, I would have a good job.
Good. Number nine.
If we lived in Mexico, I would speak Spanish.
If we live.
If we lived in Mexico, I would speak Spanish.
Porque el único live que es live es el en vivo.
Yeah,
Pero el verbo es live, live.
live. Okay.
And number 10.
We, if she passed the exam, she would be able to enter university.
Good. You need to practice the pronunciation of the past tense. Remember that past.
Passed. Okay.
No se pronuncia ese como ed. No, se pronuncia como T, como D o como... Y fue con usted, Juan, que le expliqué. No, fue con otro compañero que estuvo la clase pasada que hicimos ejercicios. O como ID, ¿cierto? Listo.
Yes.
Very good. Excellent. Do you have any additional questions about the exercises, the grammar, the content of the activity 4? Para ir cerrando, porque ya enseguida seguimos con la siguiente videoconferencia. Si hay alguna pregunta, Juan, adicional, algo por
Well,
resolver.
uh, I have a question, teacher.
Tell me.
Eh, bueno, in Spanish, bueno, lo que yo puedo ver, la estructura, es que después del el would, el verbo va en base form.
Bare form, sí, bare infinitive.
Infinitive is the same as base form, yes?
Not really. Se supone que infinitivo es con el to,
Sí,
¿sí? Pero muchos textos dicen que ponen pues infinitivo en el sentido de bare infinitive. Pero realmente el verbo que va, el verbo va en su forma bare infinitive. O sea, como, sin el to. Bare infinitive es el infinitivo sin el to.
sí.
Ajá. Sino que
Eh,
muchos textos ya lo han, digamos que no hacen esa precisión, realmente son como lo que uno llama pues la gramática brava, pues no sé, es cierto, o sea, como ya textos muy de gramática fuertes, sí hacen la distinción, pero los textos, por ejemplo, con los que se enseña inglés, no, lo ponen como infinitivo, pero realmente es very infinitive, ¿sí? El que iría ahí.
Sí,
Esa era la pregunta.
sí, sí, esa era.
Y el error, la otra imprecisión que tiene este material también, que colocaba que después de will o de would iba presente y realmente no es presente, eso no es presente, sino sería verb infinitive. Hola.
Gracias, teacher.
Ah, ok. No, sino que por un momento creí que se había cerrado todo porque no se escuchaba nada. Bueno, Juan,
No.
esa era la pregunta.
Sí, esa era la pregunta, profe.
Everything okay?
Everything okay.
Okay, thank you for being here in the Let's Web conference. Any doubts through, please let me know through the internal messages we have here or the forums. And thank you so much for everything, for being here, and good luck with the closure of the course. Buena suerte para todos en este cierre ya del curso, que entramos en la etapa ya final del curso, con las actividades, con todo, para que puedan obtener el certificado. Bueno, muchas gracias. Thank you so much, Juan.
Thank you, teacher.
So
Thank you for
we,
your explanation and your patience.
oh,
And thank you for your dedication and your explanation.
you're
Thank you so
welcome.
much.
Anytime. No, es con todo el gusto, de verdad. Pues me gusta hacer lo que hago. Muchísimas gracias a vos y a todos.
Bueno, profe.
Ya.